Up today on Pork Out, pork carnitas with tortillas and all the fixings. Hey everybody, this is Tool Dude Tony. I'd like to welcome you to this episode of Pork Out. On today's episode, we're going to be making pork carnitas. We're going to be using a Fager pressure cooker to both cook the meat in about an hour and a half, and then to brown it too. Pretty sweet. These are the ingredients that we need to prepare the meat. First, we'll start out with a 2 to 3 pound boneless pork roast. You get your fresh vegetables, some 4 to 6 cloves of garlic, a jalapeno sliced, seeds removed, 1 whole onion coarsely chopped, cup of chicken broth, some regular old black pepper, bay leaves, ground oregano, preferably from Mexico, ground cumin, regular old table salt, some olive oil or canola oil or a combo like this for doing the browning, and then 8 ounces of orange juice. Let's get started. First we need to prepare the rub for the meat. We'll start out with a little salt. Let's do the little black pepper. Supposed to be like 2 tablespoons of ground cumin and some oregano leaves. Go ahead and put the roast in here. Rub it around so the seasoning gets on the meat. Now the rest of the ingredients, this is the cup of broth. I'm going to pour it next to the pork. We'll add the orange juice. Add the fresh vegetables. I'm going to throw a couple of bay leaves in for fun. Put the pan inside the multi-cooker, put on the lid. We're going to cook the pork roast in this multi-cooker for 1 hour and 40 minutes, which is the maximum amount of time that this cooker will do in the pressure cooking mode. Okay, this is actually done. I'm going to hit stop, and I'm going to release the steam. I'm going to put this rag over the top of it because the steam tends to blow greasy. Now that's what she looks like inside there. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? Now with any chunk of meat, you want to let it sit for at least 15 minutes, let it cool down a little bit, and then we'll slice it up. Right, now we'll set the Fager multi-cooker to brown. And that's 30 minutes, that should be plenty of time. We'll hit start. Okay, it's going to warm up. Okay, this is a loin that had a string on it, held it together. Okay, while the Fager's warming up, we'll go ahead and cut this up into chunks. Okay, we'll put a little olive oil in here. We'll add some of the meat. Try to brown it up. Oh, yeah, looks good there. Yeah. We'll do that with all the pieces. As you brown the chunks, transfer them to another plate. So that's the pork part of this. All nicely brown now. Everything looks fantastic. Now check out all this stuff that goes with this complete Mexican dinner. Alright, here's our Mexican style feast tonight. We have our pork carnitas. Got Mexican style rice, Mexican style black beans, and all of the stuff that goes with it. I've got sour cream, 4 cheese, limes, diced tomatoes with green peppers in them, homemade salsa, onions, guacamole, well, avocados anyway, and of course tortillas to wrap the carnitas in. Okay, so what'd you do with your plate, Catherine?
Okay, so I made 2 vegetarian style tacos. So this has the black beans on the bottom with the Mexican rice, sour cream, salsa, cheese, and avocado.
Oh, those are bigger than I thought it was.
What do you think?
Good.
How are you liking your stuff down there, vegetarian chick?
I'm so full.
Yes, I got seconds.
You made a second taco, third taco?
Yes.
Everybody, woo! Everybody, this is Tool Dude Tony. I'd like to thank you for watching this episode of Pork Out. On this episode, we made pork carnitas, Mexican-style pork. It's fantastic stuff. And you can't just have carnitas by themselves, so I made Mexican rice. Check out my video on how to make this. It's actually pretty simple. And then also, I made black beans Mexican style. This was really a killer right here, and really easy. So check out my video on that. Remember, if you're not cooking it yourself, you're paying somebody else to cook it. So get out there and cook something. Tool Dude, out of here.